morning, good afternoon, good evening, NAF Atsugi. Welcome to another spectacular edition of the Captain's Call. I'm Captain Steve Weeman, NAF Atsugi Commanding Officer. Other end of the table, we have our spectacular CMC, Master Chief Wilkins. How you doing, Master Chief?
I'm doing good, Captain. How are you today?
Couldn't be better. And it is just about cherry blossom time around here in Japan, and it is about to be exceptionally beautiful here on NAF Atsugi. And speaking of exceptional, we've got a great sailor here with us today on this week's Captain's Call. If you didn't notice, we are at PSD, and PSD stands for Personnel Support Detachment. And with us today is PS2 Cherry, and PS2, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
How are you today?
I'm doing great today, sir.
Well, that's good. So as I mentioned, PSD stands for Personal Support Attachment. PS kind of makes up a couple of those letters. What's a PS in the Navy do exactly?
Personnel specialist, sir.
Okay.
We handle a lot of pay, handle a lot of re-enlistments, extensions, award inputs, different measures around these things.
Okay. So anything to do with the personnel and, of course, people and are definitely our most valuable resources around here, and some of that is personal readiness, making sure that all those forms and all the administrative stuff are completed so we can do our jobs, right?
Yes, sir.
Without that done, we cannot perform our duties. So thanks for keeping everything up and running. And that pay thing got my attention too, so I know where to come to if I have any issues, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good. Well, great. It's great to have you on the show, and PSD is an absolute vital part. It's the first place you check in and the last place you check out before you during your tour. So thanks for being the face of NAF Atsugi to all these great sailors that come through here.
Thank you, sir.
Nice job. Okay, well, we got a lot to talk about today. Good notes, and springtime is here, and we've got a few things to talk about. A couple things we can do better around the base, maybe.
Yes, sir.
And maybe CMC could help us kick it off today.
Yes, sir. For today's news, we have road tax collection. All road taxes due no later than April 29th. The Yamato tax office will be closed this year for the road tax collection. However, the Atsugi tax office and the Sagamino tax office will be available. Please visit the VRO or Vehicle Registration Office at the main gate for maps and directions, or be sure to stop by the road tax collection site at the Atsugi Convention Center on Wednesday, April 2nd through Friday, April 4th from 9 to 11 a.m. and then again from 12:30 to 3 p.m. Keep in mind, please, that A-plated vehicles and motorcycles road tax collection on base will only be on Friday, April 4th. For questions or concerns, please contact VRO at 264-2112.
Okay. And that's you, PS2. Next one.
The next thing we're going to cover is the 2014 USO Japan Charity. This tournament is going to be held on Saturday, April 19th, with a shotgun start-off at 8 a.m. for the event fees. We're going to include the green fees, car rental, tea prizes, and breakfast and lunch buffet. You can register for this event now through April 8th. The tournament is open to all SOFA status personnel, dependents, and local nations aged 18 and older. Registration fee is based on status. For more information about signing up, please go to the USO Japan Facebook page.
All right, we do have a link on our Atsugi Golf Course MWR page as well for more information. So come on out and support USO. They do so much good stuff for us here on the base.
They do.
For our families, they're amazing folks. So let's get out there and help them out. Speaking of helping some folks out, we've got a main gate closure, and why we do this is to make sure that our security systems are up and running. So the main gate will be closed to incoming and outgoing traffic on Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. to noon. The west gate will be open during this time as usual. If you have any questions, call Public Works at 264-0115.
Okay, also we got a few things. News from AOSA, Atsugi Officers Spouses Association. They are hosting a gently used dress sale on Thursday, April 3rd at Ichiban. The prom dress sale is from 3:30 to 6 p.m. For prom dresses and accessories from 6:30 to 10 p.m. They'll be holding a shop for formal dresses and accessories at Take Two Dress Sale, Sori.
And
also,
one more.
The Atsugi Officer Spouses Association is offering scholarships for graduating high school seniors and spouses. The scholarships are open to spouses and military dependents of all ranks. Application deadline is April 30th, and for more information, visit www.aosajapan.org.
All right, and for Single Sailor Lunch, the Supply Warriors are hosting a Single Sailor Lunch on Friday, March 28th from 10:30 a.m. to 1300 at Ranger Park. And just a quick note here from the CMC to modify the script a little here. Take advantage of these luncheons and meals that are being provided for the single sailors. Don't go out to McDonald's or Popeyes that day. Go take advantage of what the Supply Warriors are offering you.
Mm-hmm. They're supply warriors for a reason.
They are. they know how to cook, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Another thing we'd like to touch on is the Graco recall. The Navy Exchange would like to let everyone know that Graco children's products have been recalled by their convertible car seats and harness booster car seats with the signature and QT buckles. For more information, go to the NAF Atsugi Facebook page or visit www.gracobaby.com.
All right, the month of March is fastly dwindling away, and we're coming up on the month of April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. A little bit of pre-advertising here. There's several activities that we've got planned. There'll be 2 self-defense classes held on Thursday, April 10th, and Thursday, April 17th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Both classes are at Ranger Gym. Please call 264-4167 to register. Also on Saturday the 12th, there'll be a Sexual Assault Awareness Month 5K run. Registration starts 11 a.m. at Ranger Park, and the run starts at noon. And then Friday, April 18th, there will be a Ride Against Violence motorcycle ride starting at 10 a.m. from the NEX parking lot. I don't know what the route's going to be, but I'm sure it'll be a beautiful ride. And then lastly will be a candlelight vigil on April 29th starting at 11 a.m. in the chapel.
Okay, and that's great stuff. Sexual assault awareness, obviously that's something we do year-round, but we have a ton of extra special events coming up this week, so we can really focus on it. You know, CMC, we're slowly but steadily changing our culture here in our small part of Atsugi. But certainly nationwide, we're doing our part, and we really appreciate all the efforts of the leaders out there, and particularly the sailors who are taking these lessons on board.
Absolutely.
And listening to some of the experts that we have to discuss these sorts of things. So I'm all jazzed up about April and getting some more word out there and doing this the right way, not just briefs and lectures, but actually having great discussions and why we do these things. Yeah.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And I'm a firm believer that we in the Navy are leading the charge in stamping out sexual assault.
No doubt in my mind. It's great because of great people like you and great people like Pastor Cherry. And really, really good. So we will be back shortly after MWR lets us know what's going on here on the base and kind of tours that we've got. Spring is fast approaching. It is nice weather outside and makes me want to get outside. So we'll be right back after MWR tells us what's going on the base, and we'll see you real soon. All right.
Volunteer to Coach. The youth sports program is on the lookout for dedicated and hardworking volunteers. Please call 264-3826. Want to be a lifeguard this summer? Registration is now available at Ranger Gym. Call 264-6165. Captain's Cup 5K, Friday, April 4th at the Halsey Gym. Sign-ups begin at 11 a.m. Run starts at noon. MWR Flea Market, Saturday, April 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., located in the Ranger Park parking lot. If you'd like to be a vendor, stop by the Corner Pocket Cash Cage, $7 per table, 50 cents per chair. Mark the date, that's right, NAF Atsugi community. Youth sports baseball registration is happening now. Call 264-3524. 29 March, the Auto Skills Center will be offering free snow chain classes. 5 April, that's a Friday, it is the No School Block Party. Kick off spring break the right way. Purchase your wristband for only $7 at the Corner Pocket. Enjoy pizza, bowling, games, and a movie matinee. 26 April is MWR Athletics Duathlon. Stop by Halsey or Ranger Gym for details. 26 April, Parents' Night Out. Call 264-3780. Registration begins April 4th.
Okay, we are back at PSD, Personnel Support Detachment, NAF Atsugi, and we'd like to welcome back Petty Officer Cherry. PS2, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir.
And
Glad
did a
to be
great
here.
job on the first phase, and we got a few Beezys out there we're going to talk about here in just a few seconds. But first, it's always good to get to know you a little bit better. So I understand you're from Texas, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what city specifically?
Houston, Texas, sir.
Houston, Texas. Okay, so I guess we have a couple of Texas fans around here. Seems you're from that area, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Petty Officer Cherry and I were discussing our high school football rivalry before we began filming.
Okay, do I need to sit between you two before, so we don't have fisticuffs here? And then Petty Officer Kay behind the camera over there, she's from that particular area, so I've never lived there, visited many times, and it's a great part of the area, and they make some great folks on there. So Petty Officer Cherry, anybody you'd like to say hello out there? I know you've got a family here, and I'm sure many extended family back home in Houston. Anything you'd like to say?
Yes, sir. I'd just like to say, hi to my wife Riley, my two sons Aiden and Braden, family members back home, my cousin Joseph, his wife Latoya, and their family. That's it for now. Just
All right.
friends and family.
That's great. That's awesome. So this guy sitting next to me, he's doing a great job here in Japan. He was nominated by his OIC to come on the show because he does a wonderful job, and he represents everything that is good about Atsugi and the sailors we have here. And so I know he's a long way from home, and you folks don't get to see him a whole lot, I'm sure. But he is doing a great job here, keeping Atsugi up and running. And we have an incredibly important mission here, and you are a vital cog. So thanks for all that you do here.
Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate that. So that's good. So we've got a few things we'd like to maybe cover, discuss, answer a question or two. And then you've got some folks that we want to thank and congratulate on a great job.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's hit it, CMC.
Well, today, Skipper, we only have one concern, and it actually is related to PSD. The concern is this sailor has been waiting for 2 weeks for their travel claim to be liquidated.
Okay, so 2 weeks. So that's after a PCS move over here. As we know, it's long and process to get here. Overseas screening and family dependents members, and all those things. It can be quite lengthy, and because of the sheer volume that we get over here, the number of people that come in, PSD Atsugi does not process. They are not the final travel processing center. We send all of our claims for final adjudication down to Yokosuka, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's an important point to know that we don't have the staff or the mission necessarily to cover that. So everything goes down to Atsugi to Yokosuka, and I understand they have 30 days to actually from time of receipt, time of actual processing of that travel claim. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once Yokosuka is done with their actual processing and they file it, they will make a claim or an action against the U.S. Department of Treasury, if you will, and of course once that goes out of the Navy lifelines, we don't have a lot of control over it, but that payment should be to you within about 2 weeks. So from the time you walk through PSD and check in to the command or your host command to the time you actually see some money to process all that, it could be about 6 weeks. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So and that's all within the timelines that we advertise. So it can be frustrating. I understand there's a lot of money tied up in that PCS process, especially if you have a lot of dependents. So we just ask for your patience and understanding. If it has gone beyond the month timeline, they can come in and check it out and ask you how the claim is going, right?
Yes, sir.
Just to kind of get a status. And so certainly the comment we have 2 weeks is is not would not be an uncommon amount of time. My guess would be check it another week or so, another week and a half, see how it's going, and then certainly by the 30-day point, come in and see how it's tracking. And then once you guys kick it down to Yokosuka and they have processed it, should be a couple weeks later. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, good. Well, that's a great question. Kind of affects everybody, especially those newcomers to Atsugi in
Absolutely.
Japan. And I appreciate the ice comment on there. That's good news for everybody to hear, actually. So, and is that all we have, CMC?
That's the only concern we have. I would
Okay.
like to put a quick plug in for PSD. They do have a 97% track record for
Yeah.
timeliness.
Yep.
So they're certainly meeting their goals for the timeliness.
Yeah,
even though especially in a travel claim situation, we would all like to have our money
Yeah.
quicker.
Everyone's looking at the clock, waiting,
Absolutely.
hoping for their money to come in. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I got that piece. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, PS2, and again, we didn't tee this one up necessarily for personnel, although we were happy to have your expertise here to help us answer that. So that's good stuff. Okay. So do we have any Beezys around the base today?
Yes, sir, we
Okay.
do. We have 3 Beezys. The first Beezy service provider will be the movie theater. This one says, we rented the theater over the weekend for my daughter's birthday party. It was worth every penny. The staff members were friendly and helpful, and having the whole facility to ourselves was a hit with the kids.
I did not know we did that, actually.
I knew
So
it.
might have to do that.
I highly suggest this venue to other parents looking for a stress party venue.
All right.
I think that they
Stress-free.
mean a stress-free party venue.
I'm sure. All right, Bravo Zulu number 2, service provider, Far East Galley. I went to the Galley for the Women's History Month special lobster and steak. And as a civilian, we extremely enjoyed and appreciated the food, atmosphere, and the staff. The menu was gourmet and all of the food was excellent. The environment was clean, warm, and inviting. All of the staff was extremely helpful and friendly, and please continue to allow civilians on a regular basis. We truly enjoyed it. Bravo Zulu number 3, also to the Far East Galley. I used to work at CBH as a civilian front desk receptionist and have known that the service they give both in the barracks and at the galley is great. I used to always eat daily at the galley for lunch, breakfast, and when I was on night check. It was a sad day when they shut down the galley for civilians. They opened the galley today for all hands due to it being Women's History Month, and it was great to be able to eat there again. The service and food overall appearance were excellent. I really hope management will reconsider and let civilians back in.
All right.
All right, well, I'd like to just do a follow-up on this here because it's wonderful to receive praise from our civilians that we're allowed to use the galley. Unfortunately, I can't open the galley, and when I say I really mean the captain, can't open the galley every day to civilians because of the rules that NAVSUP has put down and the region is enforcing. What we are now allowed to do is we are now allowed to have one special meal a month that Captain Weeman can say civilians are authorized to eat at the galley. And the discussions that the captain and I have had, we're going to circle that around our monthly special, whether it's African American History Month, Women's History Month. Coming up in May, we're going to have Asian Pacific Heritage Month. We're going to do a
Native
special
American,
meal for that. So those will be the venues that we open the galley up for all hands so that we can do 2 things. One, let others experience the great joy of eating at one of the best galleys in Japan. And 2, I'm going to unselfishly beg you to come to those events that we have celebrating that history. So whatever day we're doing the special reception, we'll do a special meal at the galley. And if I can get you to come to both, that's just makes me feel great inside.
Yeah, it's a great point. And the one thing that we used to do during these special meals is Shirley Lanham, their music and dance club would come during these special meals, and they'd do their special dances or songs or whatever they would do to really liven up the atmosphere. And I'm so glad that we'll be able to start inviting them back for these special meals, and it's going to be a good time. We're really appreciative that they did open up the window a little bit for us so that I could authorize the galley for all hands once a month. And we will make sure that we advertise these well ahead so you can make your plans on that particular day. Mark your calendar. Stop by the galley because we got some great CSs who love to serve good food.
And they can cook, too.
Yep, they're awesome. Okay, well, PS2, you did a great job today with us, and we're really happy that you made it on the show, and very proud of you and all the work that you do. All the folks back there, despite our rambling on over here, they keep processing, and keep helping out the people. So thanks for everything that you do, and thanks for being a great sailor here in Japan.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, that about concludes our show today, and very happy to have another one. I think this is our last one for March, is that right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think it is. So welcome to spring here. We're happy to have it. And we hope to see everyone next week on the Captain's Call. Thanks for tuning in.